Jürgen, that was an engrossing game to watch, was it not? What was it like for you?
Well, 75 minutes were outstanding. We played an outstanding football, clear, better side, we played in all the areas we had to play, came through, passed through, created moments, not no-brainers or what these kind of things, but we were played outstandingly well, to be honest. Go 1-0 up, and then the game opens up, let me say it like this. They changed a little bit, but we changed too much. We lost the rhythm, and that's the problem in football. If you lose the rhythm, it's difficult to get it back, so you better hold it from the beginning.
And I know you didn't want to make a big fuss about your return, but everyone else did, and there was a great reaction from Liverpool fans. They were singing your name during the game. I mean, did any part of you have the butterflies in the stomach as you walked out?
Well, look, for me, the priority is the support from the Aston Villa fans. I thought they were behind the team and done terrifically well today. We now, in hindsight, I'm thinking I maybe should have threw a bit more at it a bit earlier, but you've also got to be careful that Liverpool don't hit you for 2, 3 and 4, because we're on a journey. We're at the beginning of it. It's about belief and confidence. There's a lot of positives to take from the game today in certain areas of the game. But this is the level we're striving for. Liverpool were good at times today, but we've lost it, in our opinion, to a soft penalty, because when you watch it properly, Tyrone's fouled first, and on ultimately being fouled, he's led to foul on Salah. And the disappointing thing is the referee doesn't go and have a look at that in both cases.
I know it's all about Liverpool for you, but Stephen seems to have made quite an impression fairly early on at Aston Villa, hasn't he?
Yeah. He did. He is. Obviously, he's a good coach and has a really good staff around. So it's really strange when you meet before the game, like the whole coaching, not the whole, but a lot of the coaching staff, from your own club. That's strange, but they do what they do, and everything okay.
Well, it was quite the reception, wasn't it, for Steven Gerrard's return to Anfield? We expected nothing less. And actually, his team put on quite a decent performance. They caused Liverpool some problems today.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Ish. I mean, they didn't have a shot on target, Seamus. So I think Stevie made a good point there. You don't go there and go gung-ho, because he has the utmost respect for Jurgen Klopp and that Liverpool team, which are back to their absolute best. And you can be slightly worried the fact that they could, if they're firing, and you're too open, they could really put you away. So I think he went there maybe a little bit too defensive, as he said. Mm-hmm. In Klopp said, for the first 75 minutes they dominated, and then they created a few chances towards the end of the game. But I think Stevie knows how to show Klopp and that group of players the utmost respect, because they deserve it, because they could hammer you if you're too open. But I think for Stevie, think about against City and Liverpool, the way that they played, been in both games, played really well. And even though they've lost, they lost with respect. So I think this Aston Villa team are going to be very good under Stevie G. Yeah,
the improvements from the side are clear to be seen. You can see the impact he's had on the side.
Yeah, definitely. And we mentioned there, it's getting that balance right when you go to Anfield away. You don't want to open yourselves up and get picked apart. I think Liverpool were probably a little bit wasteful on the afternoon, but I think the way that the Liverpool goal came, Steven Gerrard will be a little bit disappointed. Mo Salah was... I mean, he was on the edge of the area. There was no real danger, and it's a little bit clumsy from Tyrone Mings, and to lose the game to that penalty will be disappointing. Yeah, you could hear it in his voice, and he said it as much, didn't he, in the interview, that he didn't even think it, or he thought it was very soft. Do you think it was soft?
No, it wasn't soft. I mean, look, I've never been in that situation as a manager where you want to answer questions. It's 0-0, you're in the game. I mean, that's a mismatch. Mo Salah against Tyrone Mings in a spot like that, because he can go either way. And you see Tyrone Mings there, he does the right thing, make him go to the right, but he catches him a couple of times, and I think it's a clear pen. I think it's a clear foul. It doesn't catch him once, catches him a couple of times. It looks clumsy, but it's a foul. Gets him a couple of times, and I think it's an easy decision for the referee.
And then Mo Salah does what he does best. How beautiful is this? This is a beautiful penalty off the base of the post. I mean, watch it. This is unsavable. He doesn't look at the goalkeeper. He just goes up and does what he's got to do. And very, very clinical from Liverpool's main man. Even though probably in the afternoon he should have run away with 2 or 3. 15 successive penalties he's now scored in the Premier League, and he's just going from strength to strength as a player. I think the superlatives are running out to describe just how good he is. Well, I mean, I think the biggest credit we can give him is the best player in the world at the moment, and a lot of players maybe get tagged with that and then falter a little bit, but he just seems to be going from level to level to level, and he scores every week, and he really is the talisman of that Liverpool team, and I think we're going to see a lot more goals from Mo Salah this season. Yeah, I'm sure we will. I guess the only concern for the Liverpool fans is that when the African Cup of Nations starts, Mane and Salah, their top goal scorers, will be out for 6 to 8 weeks, I think is the maximum they could be away for. Are you concerned? Any concerns, or do they have enough there? No, right. You should be rightly concerned. He's the best player in the Premier League for sure. Mo Salah, they're going to miss him. Mane's back to scoring goals. Maybe that's why he tried Alexander-Arnold, ᴏᴏဣ-ᴛ, as a centre forward, as a false nine, to try and find something different. But I think the great thing for Liverpool is they've only conceded 1 in the last 5 Premier League games. So defensively, they're really sound. That 1 goal against Everton, but they dominated that game. So if they can keep clean sheets, there's more than enough firepower in there. Maybe it's not Mane or Salah, but somebody, especially Jota, Firmino, they'll pop up with goals for them. Did you like ᴏᴏဣ-ᴛ as a false number 9 today? Yeah, I think it was an experiment from Jurgen Klopp. I mean, we speak about those 2 guys leaving for the African Cup of Nations, but we've got Origi as well, who seems to step up to the plate whenever asked. I mean, it's going to be a big miss, big boots to fill, but like Owen mentioned there, really, really strong defensively, and I think they can get by without having those 2 guys with them. Actually, you mentioned Origi. I find it remarkable that he is just a player that comes on and always has an impact. I mean, that must take a lot of mental strength to know that you might only have, 10, 15 minutes to come on and make an impact. Yeah, but it probably helps that he knows that the 3 players that play ahead of him are better than him. Actually, well, 4, doesn't it? Salah, Mane. You don't moan if the players are better than you. The problem is when players play ahead of you that you think you're better than them. So I think one of the most important things in a big team is having a squad. Think about the United teams over the years that have won. They had incredible squad players. You think about Ole Gunnar, the career that he had. He scored one of the most important goals in club history. Origi is that for Liverpool, and it's an important role. They couldn't afford to lose him, so he comes on and decides games, and he'll get chances. The thing is, strangely, he's often better from the bench than he is when he starts. It almost suits everyone. Are Liverpool back to their best, do you think? Yes, without doubt. I tipped Chelsea for the title, but I am starting to wonder. I think they're definitely the informed team that are purring along at the moment, but this is not the time you need to be purring. It's come March, April, May. That's the business end of the season, and it's going to take a long time and a lot of hard work to keep this form right through. I expect them to dip off at some point, and that could be in January. Okay, well, a lot of the penalty box Liverpool were very good today, very strong. We expected that. The plan was for us to contain them, try and take the game to the distance, and at certain parts of the game can we throw more attacking players at it and try and steal something from the game. That was the plan, but ultimately we've lost it on the back of a penalty. We believe it's soft. We believe it's a foul on Tyrone Mings first. But if you look at both teams over the course of the 90 minutes, Liverpool obviously looked a lot better than us from penalty box to penalty box.
Stevie,
sorry,
go on, Robbie, you crack on.
Stephen, so you've lost 2 games now, but you've lost them arguably to the 2 best teams in the country. Do you take any solace from that, or...?
No, listen, we analyse both games and we try and take the positives from it. We respect the fact that they're operating on a different level than us at the moment. That's the level we'll try and strive for on the journey, if we get the chance to do that. We took it to the latter stages today. That was the plan, to try and make Liverpool nervous. We knew that they couldn't afford to drop anything today. So the plan was to get through the first 30. We did that. We defended our box well. The players applied themselves really well. And then the plan was to throw something at it around 60, 65 and try and make Liverpool even more nervous. But the penalty decision come at a real bad time for us.
Stevie, it's Mo. I was just wondering, we've all gone back to Anfield in different guises. I must admit, I hated going back to play against Liverpool. What were your emotions like going back today? And how did you feel about taking a team to your home?
If I played for Man U, are they coming back? Listen, it is what it is, Michael. I'm on a journey. I'm privileged and honoured to take this position. It's a fantastic club. It's still early days. We're still trying to evolve the team and improve and get a lot of information across to the players. I'll always be a Liverpool fan, that's a fact, but at the moment my priority is obviously Aston Villa and trying to improve this team and move us up the table.
Stephen, as a manager now, so you obviously played here before as a Liverpool player many times. But when teams sort of sit deep, you've made it hard. Did you get your game plan from the way you played as a player when teams have made it hard, or from other managers playing in the past who've made it difficult?
Well, look, if I'm honest, we didn't plan to sit in and be that deep and park the bus. I think Liverpool forced that on you at times because of the speed, the way they press you, the way they counter-press, the quality. You know, you're looking at two of the best players in the world when you're up against this, so it's a huge challenge to come here. The idea was to try and stay in the mid-block as much as we can, and then try and steal the ball in certain places and try and play down the sides of the centre-backs. That was the plan, but sometimes that gets overpowered. I think you've got to give Liverpool credit because they're so good at the moment. But if you analyse the game, we were in it till the end. Yes, there was a level in terms of how the game looked, but I think it's hard to come here and dominate the level that Liverpool are on. That's the reality.
Wasn't that just the best answer to Michael Owen?
You've got to be sharp as a manager, and that was sharp as anything, to be fair. I'm sure Mo was a bit taken back, but that's the thing. When you've been teammates for such a long time,
you know each other well.
You can have a little pop at each other now and again.
Of course. And then actually looking at the impact Steven Gerrard has had on Aston Villa and at this side, what are the main changes? What have you liked from what you've seen?
Well, that they're in games, that they're competing, that they're winning games. He took the job after they'd got beat 5 times on the trot, I think it was. I mean, the bounce that he's had, and it's not just been an initial bounce, it's continued through. I mean, we see them play Man City in the game to the very end, Liverpool in the game to the very end. He's making a big difference at Aston Villa, and I expect that improvement to continue. I mean, when Steven Gerrard walks in as your manager, and that group of players will have grown up watching him and admiring him. So when he comes in and leads you, I mean, what a catalyst, what a brilliant moment for those players, and he can only help them, especially the midfielders.
Absolutely. I mean, how much could they learn from a legend like Steven Gerrard, who's been there? He knows exactly what the Premier League is about. A legend of the game, of course, captained Liverpool. I mean, they could learn so much from him.
Yeah, but they can learn. Stevie G as a player is gone now, and he was one of the best ever. That's without question. But I've been equally as impressed with Steven Gerrard as a manager than I was as a player. I think he has the natural authority. He has that. Stevie was like a silent killer on the football pitch. Honestly, he took the game so serious. He could do everything. Technically, physically, mentally, he was just razor sharp. And I feel that from him in his interviews. I've spoken to some of the players, and they've been super impressed by him as a manager. He has a natural authority. And I think the biggest thing he's fixed since he went in there is the defensive side. They concede a lot of goals, that Villa team, with a really good goalkeeper. I think if he's tidied that up a little bit, and I think now he can incorporate, ᴠᴏ Watkins, Danny Ings, Bundia in behind. There's some really good players, and Douglas Luiz, John McGinn, young Ramsey looks like a terrific player as well. So I think this is going to be a really good Aston Villa side under Stevie G.
Yeah, as you can see, 3 wins from 5 games under Steven Gerrard. How far can they go, do you think?
Listen, Villa are a big club. They will expect at least to be in the top half, and why couldn't they be knocking on the door of Europe? I mean, 7th, 8th place in the Premier League. There's no reason, especially with their form they produced, the players that Owen's mentioned there. I mean, they've got a wealth of talent going forward. If they can keep that back door closed, which he's made a vast improvement on straight away, why couldn't they knock on?
Can anybody out there?